I guess they don't have to agree this time. So we were talking about the goats. I mean, not the myotonic goats. Those are the ones that just faint when they get scared. Super cool. I have a friend who has a farm out in Fredericksburg, and he's got myotonic goats.
That'd be cool to see. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, so they get scared and they just faint. Apparently they were going extinct, and obviously because they faint when they're scared, they're kind of easy prey. Mm-hmm. But we were talking about goats, the various major sports. So I think when we're talking about major sports, obviously the first one that comes to mind is hockey, right? Just kidding.
Obviously.
Sorry for you people up north. Just kidding. And for our two Canadian viewers, I apologize.
Yeah. No, nothing about that. Wayne Gretzky. I think there's a Lemieux. I think there's a Lemieux in there. There's a Lemieux in there.
There is a Lemieux. There is Gordie Howe.
Gordie Howe. A Lemieux, some other French name. Yeah, there's something there.
Jaromir Jagr.
Jagr, but that's German, isn't it?
That's an actual dude. I don't think it is. Yeah. All right, so we clearly don't know shit about hockey, so that'd just be insulting to everyone who gives a crap about that sport.
Yeah, don't know anything.
All five of them, it would just piss them off. So let's go the least controversial, I think. Mm-hmm. MLB.
Yeah. Yeah, let's do it. Let's hear what you got to say.
Well, so I I spent 3 years in Cincinnati from 1972 to 1975. That was the era of the Big Red Machine. So my baseball heroes were Pete Rose, Johnny Bench, Joe Morgan, Bobby Tolan, George Foster, all these guys. I mean, these guys are all Hall of Famers, except for Pete Rose, because he's not allowed in. But my absolute
he should be in, though.
That's another day.
Okay.
That's another day. Charlie Hustle deserves his moment of discussion. This ain't it. My childhood hero is Johnny Bench. I mean, he hit the dingers, and I don't want to say he was handsome, but back in the day in the 70s, yeah, I guess he was handsome. He wore a fur coat around. I mean, he was the guy, man.
Who'd you say Charlie Hustle was?
Not Charlie Hustle was Pete Rose, man.
I know, but I guess
he was never handsome. He was a jughead. He's just jughead.
Sorry, I wasn't paying attention to you.
Of course. Johnny Bench. Do you have kids and stuff?
Yeah, my daughter's running around.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know that we call it babysitting. It's probably called parenting for you. Should you be parenting?
No, I think she's fine.
Yeah, okay. Okay. I can get my dog up here, man. No problem.
All right, go ahead. I'm sorry.
So yeah, for me, and I know it's not the right answer. Probably the right answer is Lou Gehrig, Babe Ruth, one of those guys. Ty Cobb, if you're a racist, I don't know. But for me, it's always going to be Johnny Bench. Always. And I will not fight to the death to defend that opinion. Okay, so
we're just doing GOATs in general, like just the number ones. So
I don't think I can come up with a top five.
I'm saying Barry Bonds, the best player that's ever lived.
Oh, Jesus, man!
I don't. You can talk all the shit about the steroids thing. The dude was a 5-tool player before steroids, and then once he got on steroids, he was a monster. I mean, how can you? Who else could do what he did? No one.
Well, what you can say is he didn't need to do the steroids, and then his legacy is secure.
Yeah, I think it was 98, if I am not mistaken, when Sammy Sosa and Mark McGwire are going back and forth.
Yeah.
And McGwire had like 63 home runs, and which still, by the way, saved baseball a little bit. But
I'm sure a little bit, but I'm also sure that you're making up your numbers and years and shit. Just sounds made up.
Well, I don't know, because 98 I went to Busch Stadium in St. Louis. So
it feels right for you? Feels right?
This is another feel fact. Yes. But I'm not positive. I'm not saying that's very accurate, but I think it was 98, and then it was the summer of 98, and then he had 63 home runs. When did Austin Powers come out? Because that no, seriously. Went to Busch Stadium, watched Mark McGuire, and then me and my buddy went and watched Austin Powers at the theater. Sincerely, the international man of mystery. So anyway,
nice story.
That's neither here nor there. But Barry Bonds, best player ever in the MLB.
This is what I love about you, that you're just so emphatic when you're so incredibly wrong. I mean, it makes you lovable, honestly.
Well, I'm lovable no matter what. You said I have a face like Brad Pitt, so I mean.
No, you said that.
Oh.
I never said that.
Oh, okay. Well, one of us said it. So
right. It's been said.
It's been said. It's been said on a recording.
Yeah. So it's on the internet, so it must be true.
Yeah, obviously everything on the internet's true, right?
Right. All right, dude. So you got anything else for the MLB?
No.
Let's do the meatier subjects that we really want to talk
about. Yeah. So, okay. Let's jump into NBA.
Okay.
I don't even think it's close, even though it's getting closer every year. Michael Jordan, best player ever. Although, and people always think that I'm hating on LeBron.
It's because you usually are, dude.
Well, no, not necessarily, but because I like him. It's just he's not Michael Jordan. And my favorite player of all time is actually Reggie Miller. So I don't know. That's the one that got me into basketball.
I always like Detlef Schrempf.
Of course.
I do. I mean, I always liked Detlef Schrempf. I know he left before the Pacers and all that crap, but Detlef Schrempf was my boy.
If you're gonna go for an old slow white guy, why don't you do Larry Bird? Jesus.
Hey, no. Of course, I love Legend Larry, but I go Detlef
Larry
Schrempf.
Legend, not Legend Larry.
I go international. Detlef Schrempf, he was German. So
you're not German.
So
you're Scottish.
Oh yeah. Fuck. Why do I feel German?
It's the Reichstag.
Yeah. Oh yeah. So yeah, okay. Yeah, I don't know. For me, when I talk GOATs of things, it's not championships for
right.
team sports. Although I think in basketball, it's much easier to say because of championships, because one person is 20% of that team that's on the floor.
Yeah, absolutely.
All that shit.
Yeah.
But 20% on the floor on the start, that's a significant amount. Unlike football, we're talking 22, not to mention special teams, but whatever. So I get you go by championships a little bit, but that's not the sole thing. To me, it is your legacy. What did you leave behind? What did you teach?
Yeah.
So
what did you change?
Yeah. What about the sport did you change? So for me, there is no Michael Jordan without a Dr. J. Julius Erving was fantastic, and he showed possibilities that weren't seen before, really, in the league, not to that extent.
Sure.
So Michael Jordan took that and took it to the next level. So without Dr. J and Michael Jordan, there is no Kobe Bryant. there is no LeBron plays a different position, so whatever. But there aren't these guys because he showed the possibility. So I'm gonna find myself agreeing with you. I hate this. I hate this about myself. I'm gonna agree with you. It's Michael Jordan because he showed the way. He lit the lamp and showed everyone how you can play this game at the highest level. And they all did. And look, I mean, again, so the aforementioned Kobe Bryant, LeBron James, all these guys, they took it and they ran with it. LeBron's still doing great things. Kobe certainly did. But it was Michael Jordan.
Yeah.
I mean, you can say Bill Russell if you want to go championships, but I think that's, that was a great team, great organization, weaker league, all that crap. But I get it. If you want to make that argument, I get it. And there's not much I can argue about it.
Right.
Yeah.
So the one fact that people forget, because they always give LeBron so much credit, which he deserves.
He does.
He is amazing.
He took freaking Cleveland to the finals.
Yeah.
Not the time they won. The first time. They had no business being there. That was all LeBron James.
Okay. So the one fact they forget about Jordan, because they're like, oh, he played with the first time he played with an all-star, he never stopped losing.
Right. Yeah, Scottie Pippen was.
It is what it is. He had one. He had one.
Players, and I hate to disparage Steve Kerr, all the other guys.
Great role players. Yeah.
Scottie Pippen elevated it to the next level. Great defense. Jordan hated playing defense. Jordan hated being defended. He always bitched about Reggie Miller being a woman, just handsy. Like, that's defense he did. Yeah, that's defense. But he didn't care for it.
I'm telling you, the first time he had an all-star on his team, Michael Jordan, he won every single championship he played, except for, well, I guess the year he. And by the way, is that because of gambling, or we still don't know those facts? Why he had to leave the league for a year and a half?
You're not talking about the baby. You're talking about before he came back with the Wizards.
No. I'm talking about when he left in 92, 93 season. And he left, and then he came back in 95. Because there's a theory out there that Stern said, hey, you got to get out of here for gambling or whatever. Pete Rose-ish, I guess is.
I don't think the NBA's ever really had a problem with that. I mean, I'm one of those guys who's all in on the NBA being fixed. I think it's been fixed for years. They were a second-rate league, maybe in a third-rate league behind NFL, MLB, and they needed to grow, so they needed the right markets to be there and all that crap. So,
well, I'm telling you, in '79, when I'll be right back with you, baby. I just didn't want you to get on camera.
Again, do you need to be parenting?
I told her not to let her come in here.
Does she speak English? Your nanny?
So anyway, in '79, when Bird and Magic came out, was that 79 or 79? Yeah, it had to be 79.
79, 80, something like that.
Yeah. Basketball was bigger than NFL anyway. And then the NFL started busting out.
I think Bird
when was the first Super Bowl?
Huh?
When was the first Super Bowl? It was around that time.
Called it the Super Bowl?
Yeah.
Well, I think the first time, I don't think they called it when the Packers won the first two.
Yeah.
When the Jets beat the Colts.
The Super Bowl III.
That's Super Bowl III. But that might have been the first time they called Super Bowl. I don't know. I'm old, but I'm not that old. So, and what's your point, sir?
Oh no, because you were saying NFL was bigger, but
post merger, once the AFL and NFL,
yeah.
I mean, everyone stopped.
All right. So speaking of NFL,
Go to the NFL.
Oh boy.
So,
all right. So all right. We're gonna throw a bunch of different players though.
Yeah, this is the biggest of rosters of team games. You're talking about 22 people plus special teams and all that crap, subs.
Yeah, 53 is a total roster.
You're talking a huge effort to get where you're going. So obviously success is important. Obviously the ultimate success is Super Bowl. Obviously, not only getting there, but winning. So I think it, and also because each position is different. Some more important than others. So obviously, the quarterback position gets the most attention, and justifiably so.
Right.
Although there have been some fantastic defensive players who've taken over games.
LT.
Yeah, LT, Jesus. They are who they thought we were. This Green game, that Urlacher took that game.
Yeah.
One of the most incredible.
Ray Lewis.
Ray Lewis, Jesus. Yeah. So
Ed Reed.
Bruce Smith, you can talk about all these guys that actually were awesome. However, and then you can talk about the receiving position, which really
it starts and ends with one guy.
Well, yeah. Jerry Rice redefined the position.
Randy Moss.
Oh, you weren't talking about Jerry Rice? Fuck you. You don't know what you're talking about.
No. I was talking about Jerry Rice, but I was just mentioning Randy Moss.
So you had a thought, and you just thought I should interject this.
Yeah, pretty much.
Gotcha.
That's kind of how this works.
So, yeah, Jerry Rice, obviously a seminal force in the NFL, but he can't throw the ball to himself, can he? Obviously, the quarterback can catch it, but someone's got to throw that ball. Someone's got to be upright enough to throw that ball. So it's almost always going to boil down to a quarterback. I mean, and not to, for me, so many of these guys are my heroes. I just don't want to slight everyone who is awesome. And I think it's obviously a stupid endeavor to name a GOAT for any sport because of eras, because of the competition at the time. Obviously, it's pointless, right?
Right.
But it's fun.
Yeah, it's awesome.
And it promotes conversation. So that's why you do it, right? So here we go. Yours? Yeah. Go ahead.
I'm gonna homer the shit out of this one. Peyton Manning is the best player I've ever seen. It's hard to explain how and why. Well, I mean, obviously, that he's great, but sincerely, probably one of the best players ever, and changed the game like crazy. These guys are doing audibles and shit now that they would have never done had he not come along and shown them how to be an offensive coordinator on the field. It is what it is. I know people are going to bitch that Tom Brady, whatever. I get it. He's great. I'm not poo-pooing him. Well, I'd like to, but it is what it is. Peyton Manning's the greatest. Greatest quarterback, but if quarterback's the most important position, so
the great player to the quarterback position. Right?
Yeah. So Peyton Manning, man. It's not, I don't even think it's close to me. But obviously I'm a little biased. But it is what it is. He's the greatest player ever.
I think the greatest player who's still playing is Tom Brady. I mean, 7 Super Bowls. One of the greatest competitors ever. I mean, that dude has a will to win. That obviously, if you're at the pro level of any sport, you got a will to win. But God, this guy takes it personally, and he's awesome, dude. He's awesome. If you need a field goal to win a game, I want Tom Brady.
Yeah, if you need a field goal, and you got Adam Vinatieri.
Yeah, if you could possibly have Vinatieri or Gostkowski behind him, that's great. Tom Brady is definitely top 2. He's definitely top 2.
Who's the top
one?
Me,
and for the same reasons you mentioned, I want a guy who changed the game. And the guy who changed the game, the guy who has a passing academy named after him, the guy who's trained so many quarterbacks who are currently in the NFL. I want that guy. I want that guy who doesn't wear an armband, who never wore an armband. Not from his rookie season on, never wore an armband because he knew the damn playbook.
Mm-hmm.
So you can talk about future Hall of Famer Aaron Rodgers all you want, but he still wears an armband. You can talk about Tom Brady, but the dude has worn an armband forever. What the hell is that about?
21 years.
The plays. What the hell is that about? You need to know everything. I saw last week, Sunday, I saw Aaron Rodgers have to call timeout because he played clock right on one time. And then he got a delay a game because he let around again. The quarterback has to know the game clock. He has to know the play clock. He has to know everything. When you're managing that, when you're doing that, when you're sending the punt team off the field, and I dare anyone to make a comment, tell me one other quarterback who has ever sent the punt team back off the field, told his head coach, no, we are going for it.
Yeah, I'd like to see that.
Yeah, I want to see that.
Just the intricacies of, okay, we see, and I know Rodgers does. First of all, Rodgers is probably the most talented quarterback I've ever seen. But that's not what we're talking about.
My most talented before was always Dan Marino, but
yeah, Marino was talented, but he couldn't run like Rodgers.
He couldn't run like Rodgers. He couldn't throw on the run like Rodgers. No. Rodgers is most talented.
And Mahomes is
he's
awesome, but you can't say anything like that right now about him.
Especially not this season.
For sure. I think people are starting to figure them out.
I mean, he's still great, and they're still going to do well. And they got such talent.
Well, he needs to learn how to check it down more because I think he started getting impatient. And then he's not checking it down like he should.
Well, I guess what most teams are doing to them is making them be patient, and they're not good at it, clearly. Which amazes me when you have a tight end like Kelsey, but whatever. That's just their stupidity.
Yeah, I mean, look at the Colts last night. Jesus Christ. All you had to do, literally, Lamar's just going like that. And he's a good quarterback, but all he's doing is that. Oh, God.
But you digress.
All right, yeah, sorry. I'm still kind of pissed about last night, but
no, couldn't tell.
No, Peyton changed it because he knew when to as soon as you're running off the field, boom, he's getting 11 men on or 12 men on the field. As soon as you thought you had the snap count, boom, he's got the snap count changed. As soon as you want to change personnel, boom, he's going hurry up. I mean, there's so many things that goes into that really affects the defense. And by the way, it affects our defense too, your team's defense, by being that good at what you're doing.
So, well, I mean, the fact was that the Colts defense sucked the entire time he was there. I think he had 2 top 10 defenses, and both times went to the Super Bowl.
Right.
It affects your defense because if you can score, this is what the Chiefs enjoyed for that 1 year. If you can score and you put pressure on the other team, your defense gets to do other things. They don't have to play both the run and the pass. They pin their ears back and they head for the quarterback because your quarterback has to throw because you're under scoring pressure.
Right.
Because you know the other team is going to score.
Yeah.
It changes defense. So there is no Dwight Freeney or Robert Mathis if there is no Peyton Manning. He enabled Dwight Freeney to completely ignore his responsibility of securing the edge and just go after a passer. Yeah. And Dwight Freeney said, kiss Peyton's butt every time he sees him. Every time he sees him.
Don't talk about my boy Mathis though, because my boy Mathis.
I love Robert Mathis. Hey, your club's fun.
Yeah.
It hit your axe, man. Possibly put it out too. I don't know how it works.
I don't know if it's in tune.
Yeah, sure it's not.
I don't even know how to spell tune. Was there one more sports GOAT we're going to talk about?
No, I don't know any other sports. I know cricket. You know your top cricket people?
Yeah, Phalang Samanj. He's, I think, the best cricket player to ever live.
Yeah, I was going to go with some racist Indian name, but okay. We can
that's
talk
what I did.
We could talk tennis, but I don't know. We could talk golfers.
Okay. Let's end it here.
No, wait, just real quick, and then I'll let you go. I know you obviously got some parenting responsibilities there. Let's just talk golf real quick.
Okay.
So Jack Nicklaus famously said when Tiger was creeping up on his major count, he goes, yeah, and Tiger was pretty young at that point. And Jack said, well, we'll see. Even though I think Jack won his final major, the Masters, at like 46. And of course, Tiger was far from that at the time. Said, well, we'll see. And of course, obviously, Jack was mostly right. I think he's at 15, so he has 3 more to go, and he's still got time. But
oh yeah, I forgot about that.
Yeah. So who do you got as your favorite golfer or the GOAT of golf?
It's not even close. It's Tiger. It's not close. I don't get. We talked about this. The championship shit. I get it. Championships mean a lot. I get it. Majors. Dude, he's beating Sam Snead, and okay, so he's not gonna get to Nicklaus.
But I don't think he wins 3 more majors. I don't think so.
No. But who is the most dominant person ever? And we talked about it. Changed the game. He changed the game.
Yeah, I mean, you could talk about back in the day. You can talk about Bobby Jones, but Bobby Jones never turned pro. He always competed as an amateur. He did hold the 4 majors at the time in a calendar year. That's impressive. But Bobby Jones never decided, hey, this is my thing. So we don't know.
Right.
You can talk about Ben Hogan. Ben Hogan was in a car accident and really curtailed his career somewhat. Won a lot of games. Snead won a lot of his tournaments during World War II when there frankly wasn't that much competition.
Yeah, like it's at like 7. It was at like 79 or something like that, right? Or something.
Well, I think it's 82, something like that.
Oh, maybe 80. Okay, around the 80s. Okay.
Yeah. So Yeah, you can talk about all that. Certainly, Arnold Palmer was the most charismatic guy maybe ever on tour. He was such a class act, such a gentleman. So I know romantically we want to think Arnold Palmer, but the winds don't support it. So then you go into Jack Nicklaus. Jack Nicklaus was a force like no one had ever seen. He was powerful. He hit it further than everybody. And he was that ass, that ass you have to be to win everything because you don't care about what's going on around you. So he was that guy. And 18 majors, I don't know how many wins, whatever. He was that guy.
Not as many as Tiger.
Not as many wins. And here's why I have to, once again, find myself agreeing with you. Tiger changed the game. He showed us all that, hey, if you're physically fit, you could do this. He changed the game. When he played in a tournament, he was the favorite. If he's playing, he's the favorite.
Yeah.
I know people can bitch that, like, Nicklaus had better competition, whether it be in the early days Palmer, or then you got Johnny Miller, you got Tom Watson, whatever. Bullshit. Tiger still had competition. Mickelson probably lost a lot of tournaments because Tiger was around. And Mickelson, no matter his bravado to this day, he was intimidating.